Good Tuesday morning, everybody. I'm Dave Furtado.
And I'm meteorologist Jefferson Donovan.
And welcome to Keep Her Quick, your latest local news and weather commercial free in about 15 minutes or less. We're going to jump right over to weather because, Jefferson, the big headline is those passes. Going to be pretty treacherous on that travel, but also that moisture system working its way into our neck of the woods in the form of rain, yes?
Yeah, primarily looking at rainfall for lower elevations today, although I understand this morning some of us are seeing maybe a little bit of light snow. As we take a look at your weather headlines today, rain and mountain snow are going to be on top of mind for today. Now, as we do head into your Thanksgiving holiday, more persistent rainfall is going to be on tap today, and then again Thanksgiving Thursday are going to be the two wettest days before a general drying trend does begin on Friday. Now, speaking to those mountain pass concerns that you were just referencing, we do have winter weather advisories in place for the Cascades from 10 a.m. this morning until 4 a.m. on Wednesday, as we could be looking between 6 and 10 inches of snow through the Cascades with maybe some light icing due to freezing rain, and then even the Kittitas Valley from 10 a.m. this morning until 4 a.m. on Wednesday, we could receive up to 2 inches of snow with some of that light icing. So there is a lot of active weather, even some wintry precipitation, and we'll talk about that more in depth in a minute.
Thanks, Jefferson. We begin this morning in Kennewick. Troopers are investigating a crash on Highway 395 just north of the Blue Bridge. It happened at around 1:30 yesterday afternoon when troopers say several people spotted this car driving all over the road and called 911. Before troopers could respond, though, the car crashed above Lewis Street in Pasco, and the driver became confrontational with other drivers. Ultimately, several people pinned him down while troopers responded.
Call in erratic drivers, especially during this time of year. We'll see additional impaired drivers on the road, and that is a significant contributor to the collisions that we see on our roads. So please don't feel like you're wasting our time. We want you to dial 911.
Now, troopers say the man is facing charges for DUI and is being checked at the hospital for a black eye from those who helped to bring him into custody. And also in the Tri-Cities, police need your help finding a suspect who fled the scene after hitting a child. Take a look at this. According to Kennewick police, officers responded to West 6th Avenue and South Taft Street. They say a 14-year-old boy was riding an electric scooter Sunday night when a black SUV drove by and hit that boy. The 14-year-old was thrown from the scooter and broke his ankle. The driver immediately fled the scene. Police are asking anyone in the area of West 6th Avenue and South Taft Street to check their surveillance video between 5 and 5:15 Sunday evening. If you have any information or video of the crash, you're asked to contact Kennewick Police via their non-emergency number. Benton County Sheriff's deputies are looking for a man accused of stealing multiple items from a car. They posted these pictures Monday saying this man is suspected of being involved in a vehicle prowling incident that happened on Badger Mountain. He's facing charges of second-degree theft and theft of ID. Anyone with information on the man is asked to contact Deputy Griffin or Deputy Murillo with the Benton County Sheriff's Office. Early Friday morning, a Grandview police officer was taken on a high-speed chase after pulling over a suspected DUI driver on Interstate 82. As the officer walked up to the vehicle, the 20-year-old driver, Jaron Ramos, fled at a high speed, accelerating to about 100 miles an hour, turned off the headlights, and actively attempted to elude officers. The pursuit came to an end near the 5700 block of East Euclid Road in Mapton, where the driver abandoned the vehicle and fled on foot into an open field. Officers pursued and successfully arrested Ramos, who's been charged with DUI, felony eluding, resisting arrest, and being a minor in possession of alcohol. During the pursuit, though, 2 patrol vehicles did sustain damage. On to some employment news this morning. Verizon is laying off about 165 employees at 23 locations across the Evergreen State, including here in Yakima and Kennewick. Now, according to an announcement yesterday, the layoffs are expected to begin on January 23rd next year. A letter from Verizon said the company is, quote, consolidating and restructuring its operations to maximize the utilization of company facilities and resources. Now, the layoffs will be in specific business functions. The majority of those job losses appear to be at Verizon stores, either retail or business services, with 1 to as many as 11 employees being laid off at each location. Both Yakima and Kennewick stores are affected. And today, the Peacekeeper Society will be hosting a Thanksgiving food distribution in Toppenish. From 1:30 p.m., the Society will be giving thanks to the community, giving away canned corn, potatoes, squash, spaghetti, rice, beans, and other food items. It's a first-come, first-served event while supplies last, taking place at 212 South Toppenish Avenue. Officials say to park in back and walk up to the back door entrance. The details are on the KIMA Facebook page. Though folks are being asked to stay in their vehicle if they head to Sunnyside Police Foundation's third annual Thanksgiving meal giveaway, also happening today. That meal distribution begins at 3 p.m. on the corner of 6th Street and Warehouse Avenue in Sunnyside. You must be in a vehicle and no walk-ups are permitted. Vehicles will be limited to one meal and there will be at least 300 meals available to be given out. All of the details can be found also on the KIMA Facebook page. Though travel as it gets underway, transportation leaders say to plan ahead, especially if you're driving over the mountain passes. Snow is in the forecast, and the number of cars heading over Snoqualmie Pass nearly doubles every Thanksgiving. That means drivers should be sure to pack chains and their patience.
Plan for delays, possibility of collisions, crashes, spinouts, all those kinds of things. So really need to be mindful of the way that you drive specifically, and that you're prepared.
Now, in addition to chains, you should also pack things in case you get stuck on the road, like water, warm clothing, and entertainment. And with that, let's jump right over to meteorologist Jefferson Donovan to talk the weather for today. Jefferson, clearly, as the Doppler radar shows, quite a bit of snow system, or a large swath of the mountains are going to be hit with that snow. Yeah,
we're already looking at precipitation moving into our viewing area at the time of this recording around 7 a.m. Now, what I will say is that it is a bit surprising in that this precipitation is about 3 or 4 hours ahead of schedule. We really weren't expecting precipitation to arrive in earnest until we got to around your 9-10 a.m. hour or so. But of course, you can already see it is moving into the viewing area. This is maybe problematic because temperatures this morning are still very chilly. So we're starting to see some snow even at lower elevation areas. Now, for lower terrain, this is going to transition to rain as we go into the afternoon. I can say that with some high confidence, but for our mountains, we are going to be getting pummeled with some pretty heavy snow all day, especially the Cascades, and we'll talk more about that in just a moment. Before we get there, though, here's a look at those daytime high temperatures today. Upper 30s to low 40s coming for the Tri-Cities. Look for upper 30s to low 40s for the Yakima Valley today. Cooler in the Kittitas Valley with highs only in the mid to upper 30s today, with low to mid 40s for the Blue Mountain foothills. Again, with most of us seeing highs today around 40 degrees or so, I'm confident that precipitation for a vast majority of us will transition to rainfall this afternoon if it does start as snow. One area I'm not as confident is the Kittitas Valley, where some cool air will be trapped. Let's jump now into the Storm Tracker Futurecast. Certainly by the time you get to around your 11 a.m. hour, we are all going to be at least having the opportunity to experience some precipitation with heavy snow coming for the Cascades and maybe some of that snow for the Kittitas Valley. As we go into the afternoon around your 4 o'clock hour or so, widespread precipitation around much of our viewing area in the form of rainfall, but we will be looking at that heavy snow continuing for the Cascades with snow, if not a rain snow mix in the Kittitas Valley. I also am going to say that by this afternoon, we will see a transition to snow for the Blue Mountains. For this evening, around your 10 o'clock hour, still looking at widespread rainfall for lower elevation areas with heavy snow in the Cascades, some snow, if not a rain snow mix in the Kittitas Valley, and we will be looking at some of that snow through the Blue Mountains. And then as we do progress into Wednesday, something very interesting will happen. Wednesday is not going to be as wet as today, just some spotty showers around. But notice that even for the Cascades and the Blues, we're just seeing that green color, meaning rainfall as opposed to snowfall. That's because snow levels are going to be rising up to around 5,000 to 5,500 feet or so. So even our highest passes will just see rainfall on Wednesday as opposed to that snowfall, improving travel weather tomorrow for sure. Now here's a look at the forecast snow totals we have for today. 6 to 8 inches of snow over Snoqualmie and White Passes. US 2, Highway 2, Stevens Pass, up to a foot of snow. I-84 at Meacham, between 4 to 6 inches of snow through the Blue Mountains. And then in the Kittitas Valley, even Ellensburg might receive up to 2 inches of snowfall. Now, as we extend the futurecast towards your Thanksgiving holiday, I would like to note Thanksgiving Thursday at this point is trending pretty soggy. As we go into Black Friday, though, much of our area will start to clear out of the moisture, but a chance of showers will continue for the Blue Mountains and adjacent foothills. So to just kind of summarize the past situation one more time, because I know it's a busy travel week, today is going to feature the worst travel weather, maybe just some minor hindrances coming for Wednesday and Thursday, but Wednesday and Thursday certainly improved travel weather from today, or when compared to today, and then by Black Friday, we should be looking at no concerns at all over our mountain passes. We're going to continue to track this storm system not only throughout today, but we're going to track more weather makers as we go into the next couple of days. But right now, I'm going to toss it back over to Dave.
Thanks, Jefferson. The holiday is coming up quick, and many of the city of Yakima's facilities will be closed Thursday and Friday because of it, and that will include City Hall, YPAC, and Parks and Recreation offices. Yakima Municipal Court, as well as business offices for the police and fire departments, will be closed as well. Emergency services, though, will remain available. In addition, the city's Harmon Center will be closed Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The Lions Pool will be closed on Thanksgiving, but reopens on Friday. Yakima Transit, no bus service Thanksgiving Day, but they will resume normal operations on Friday. There will also be no City of Yakima garbage pickup service on the holiday. Pickup for those folks will instead be on Friday, and then it pushes those Friday pickups to Saturday. It is recommended, though, that residents have their trash cans set out by 6 a.m. for the day of their refuse pickup. Sticking in Yakima, though, City Council will not meet this week as scheduled, but the next meeting on December 2nd will be crucial for budget issues. At last week's study session, the council received public input on the potential closure of the Harmon Center and the Lions Pool, having heard directly from the chief of police and fire chief, as well as the head of the Parks and Recreation Department at the previous week's meeting. Now, the cuts are a direct result of the failure of the city's proposed tax levy in the general election. The measure was defeated 51 to 49%, leaving the city with a budget shortfall of $6 million. And continuing in some municipal news, Sunnyside City Council had their regular meeting last night. The agenda covered 10 topics, including the 2026 preliminary budget public hearing, ambulance utility rate, and a proposed land acquisition for fire department facilities. Though one of the bigger agenda items was the Fernandez v. Sunnyside settlement case, authorizing the interim city manager to enter into a proposed settlement agreement. Outside of that, the council also discussed mayor appointments and other city council status requests. The next Sunnyside City Council regular meeting will take place December 8th at 6 p.m. On to some education news this morning. Enrollment rates for schools across the Yakima Valley have been on a steady decline over the past few years. KIMA's Ty Therian set out to find out why.
The Yakima School District has been facing a steady decrease in enrollment since 2020. One reason for this is the birth rate decline in the state of Washington. The more prominent reason? People just want their kids to be homeschooled.
2019 to 2020. And it dropped back down, not immediately. The first year, people were concerned about going back to school because they didn't want the rug pulled back out of under them, as the kind of things that I was hearing, right? They'd already set up something as far as childcare and working and schedules and stuff like that.
The pandemic provided parents a safe way to educate their children. Learning from home became normalized for families, leaving them more content than ever before. The Yakima School District once served more than 16,000 students, has now seen full-time enrollment fall to approximately 15,550. School enrollment rates have been steadily decreasing across the nation since the beginning of the pandemic in 2020. But recently, these numbers have started to steady and show a possible upward trajectory.
And then we dropped back down, and we're kind of at the level where I would have figured we would have been pre-pandemic or without the pandemic. Slightly above, but not hugely. Just because we had been seeing the growth. So I think the number one thing was that we took away the fear of homeschooling with the pandemic.
Homeschooling numbers didn't decrease after the pandemic because the parents were exposed to all of the benefits of learning from home. Some found their kids to be more social and experienced less bullying.
And then, of course, you have the cultural chasm that continues to increase. So you got people jumping ship because of vaccines or content of the public education, things like that.
To counter the trend, Yakima is reinventing some of their offerings. They are focused on expanding career education and strengthening their multilingual programs. If enrollment numbers do not increase, school boards will be forced to make unwanted budget cuts. Reporting for Action News, I'm Ty Therian.
Ty Therian, thank you. And the Pasco School District Superintendent Michelle Whitney is the Washington State Superintendent of the Year. Whitney was recognized on Friday for her leadership, service, and commitment to public education. She received much praise last week, with Washington Association of School Administrators Executive Director Jeff Snell adding to it, saying, quote, "Her leadership has brought a sharper focus on individual student success, expanding access, lifting student voices, and building a culture of belonging that has improved outcomes and strengthened community trust." Whitney started her career as a kindergarten teacher before later moving up to principal and then district administrator. And this isn't her first award either. She also won Woman of Distinction in 2024 and Alumna of the Year at Columbia Basin College. Whitney is now in the running for the 2026 AASA National Superintendent of the Year Award, which will be announced in February. That does it for us. Thank you for watching this episode of Keeper Quick. For more local news and weather, you can head over to our websites. It's keeperandkimatvs.com, as well as our Facebook pages. But while you're here, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up with our latest mini newscasts Monday through Friday. Have a terrific Tuesday, everybody.